Impressed yet? I hope you are. This gives a hint at what we're reviewing today. Hey guys, Brady here. So, frickin' Angry Birds. Starting in 2009 with the mobile apps, of course, and then later jumping to terrible console ports like the Angry Birds trilogy on the Wii U and 3DS, and then moving on to other genres of gaming, like kart racing with Angry Birds Go, and puzzle genre with, Angry Birds Blast and Angry Birds Dream Blast and all that garbage that's never been released. They've also crossed over with stuff like Transformers and Star Wars. And even some of the side characters had their own games as well, like Angry Birds Stella, which was probably targeted more towards girls. But however, translating them into the realm of media was something of a legend. And you may know that it was 2009. They had nothing planned. Aside from the Angry Birds tunes, those little cartoons that they put together for the Angry Birds, those were all right. But sadly, they said, we could make a great video game movie, so they called up Sony Pictures Animation and Columbia Studios to put together this, the Angry Birds movie. Wow. The history of this flick is just unheard of. It's unknown to see if this movie can actually do well. And it didn't, actually. It got 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I did not know happened. And apparently, this movie was praised when it first came out. Not by critics, but by general audiences. So, what better way to talk about another video game movie than to take a look at a video game movie that's based off a mobile app? The Angry Birds movie. It was the #1 movie in America in 2016, and it even knocked Captain America Civil War out of the top spot. That lets you know that you're in for a treat. But sadly, this movie came out in 2016, a mere 9 years too late. What the frick? I mean, for an Angry Birds fan like myself, and yes, I'm an Angry Birds fan, I expect quality out of this. And then after this, in 2019, we did get a sequel that actually did well. 73% on Rotten Tomatoes as opposed to this movie's 43%. I have actually yet to watch the Angry Birds movie, too. But judging from the Nostalgia Critic, he really didn't like this movie. And to be fair, there is a ton of garbage about this flick. It's clunky, it's sloppily put together, and other than that, it just doesn't make any sense. Besides it's 2016. It says so on the disc. It says so on the disc. That's pretty rare for a channel like mine to say, hey, where is the year? But yeah. And to be fair, I did like the flick when it first came out. I thought it was good. I thought it was nice. But over time, though, this became everyone's bane of existence. So why is the Angry Birds movie interesting? So, like I said, I may have to go through a little bit of history, but I already explained the history that this movie has gained. This movie premiered in 2016, like I already said, and I've already explained everything about the Angry Birds premiering in 2009, and so forth. So, the plot. It stars a classic cast of characters that we all know and love. It stars the Angry Birds, so you know their names, don't you? This is Red. The yellow one is named Chuck. The Blues, literally named the Blues. The black one is named Bomb. The white one is named Matilda. The pink one is named Stella. The green one is named Hal. And the maroon one is Terrence. You all know this lovable franchise, don't you? I'm not taking this off. So the film, it starts out with Red, played by Jason Sudeikis of all people. I mean, seriously, what is he doing here? Alongside other classic celebrities. So he's late for this party, right? Yep. And he's like, "You must be so disappointed in yourself for being this late." And he's like, "Well, no. You see, the clock just says," and then it cuckoos like, and he's like, "Okay, now you're late. Where have you been?" That's literally how he talks. And so the title card shows Angry Birds. And he's like, "You know what? I freaking, what does he say? I worked my butt off, literally, thank you, to get your gluten-free cake." What the heck is gluten? I mean, does gluten actually exist? Well, probably it does, Red, if you are smart enough. So, the credits roll. And then, since he caused that trouble, he had to go to anger management class, run by Matilda, played by Maya Rudolph. Wait a minute. Isn't Maya Rudolph the same one who played that one snail in Turbo? What? And so he meets up with these other dudes, or birds, named Chuck, played by Josh Gad, who also did the Pixels movie, frickin' Bomb, played by Danny McBride, who also did Sausage Party, and then Terrence, played by Sean Penn. But he only does this. It instantly makes me cough when I ever try to do a movie impression of Terrence. But then we finally get introduced to our antagonists. The pigs, of course. We all know the pigs. We all know the pigs are evil. Just like in the games, they try to steal the eggs, and they're like, "Ooh, we want to cook this stuff." But no, it's actually not the kind of eggs you'd think. And the pigs actually have a surprisingly pretty good voice cast. And what you may realize with this film is the animation is surprisingly not ahead of its time, but it's okay. It's passable, definitely. I've seen much worse, like what is that one movie they released in 1985 trying to rip off Star Wars? Look it up. It's called like Star Crusader or something. Star Crusader, I don't know. But I watched too much Nostalgia Critic. So the pigs land on Bird Island. So we get introduced by our first pig, Leonard, played by Bill Hader, who also did Flint Lockwood in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Wow. Woof. And then he's like, "Greetings from my world, the world of the pigs. I am a pig." And then, of course, we get introduced to a lot of the other pigs, too. And Russ. That's funny. And they come from Piggy Island, the most unoriginal island name you could ever come up with. Wow. And believe it or not, one of the pigs is actually voiced by Blake Shelton, a singer that you may know doesn't gain as much popularity as he used to. And he actually wrote a song for this movie, I believe called Friends. Watch the movie and find out. Even though you probably don't want to watch the movie. So, what happens? The pigs betray the birds and steal the eggs. Typical Angry Birds story that you may remember from the mobile apps. Okay, so, Red's like, "That is where they went, and so that is where we're going." And there's also this running joke about, what is it? A mime going, "Oh my god." That's the dumbest thing ever. And then he does this throughout the entire film. He's like, and even at the end, he's like, "Oh my god." That is the stupidest thing of all time. Oh wait, I forgot to mention the Mighty Eagle. You may remember the Mighty Eagle is a power-up in the actual Angry Birds mobile app. And here he's a pop cultural referencing douchebag. Oh boy. I just can't. They even have a song for him. A song. Like, we needed one of those. And it's actually a rendition of the actual Angry Birds theme. With lyrics. I think so. But then again, they go to the island, and we realize that Leonard's name over at Piggy Island is actually King Mudbeard. Not King Pig, just King Mudbeard. They had to come up with something original for this movie, you know? But still. So, in true Angry Birds fashion, they set up a slingshot, and he's like, we're gonna fly. And so, they fly. They shoot every Angry Bird, including Hal, which actually, he works just like... Every character looks and works like they do in the game. You know, like Hal is a boomerang, and he's like... And Chuck goes fast, and Bomb explodes. And Bubbles, who also is in this film, you may not remember that obscure bird that was a character. Bubbles, he would normally like on impact. So yeah. I told you not to mess with me! Oh boy, that's literally how he talks in the movie. He talks like a grown man, but he looks like a little child. Okay, so Red invades the castle, right? And he's like, there's a big bird in these walls. Bring him to me. And then they're all like listening into the walls. And he's like, not in the walls, in the castle. Come on, you guys. See, this movie could crack out some laughs from you, but some of the jokes can't. So what happens? They're like, we will eat the eggs for lunch. And so, yada, 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 plot, and all that jazz. Red ends up saving the eggs, which actually turns out to be the Blues, believe it or not. And the parents of the Blues, are a thing too. So, along with that, they return to Bird Island, living happily ever after. The end. So overall, in the end, this movie kind of doesn't hold up. It's fine, but... I mean, it doesn't suck, but still, it's just... meh. I mean, Sony Pictures Animation brought us Hotel Transylvania and the Emoji Movie. Those were worse than this. Trust me. So, in the end, the Angry Birds movie is just a travesty that happened. Aside from some pretty good animation, and at least I got a few laughs out of it. And to this day, some of the jokes actually crack me up. But it's just generic meh. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and comment for this lovely little hat. I also have a Angry Birds green pig hat as well. So, see you guys next time for me talking about a certain service that has been around ever since the Wii days. Bye, guys. Sayonara, peeps. Take care.